Hello, hello, hello. Now that free agency is pretty much done for the Orlando Magic, all there's left to do is dot the T's and cross the I's. Wait, I don't think that's right. This is the Orlando Magic Nation, your one-stop shop for all things Orlando Magic, for Orlando Magic fans, by a Magic fan. Thank you very much for clicking on this video and spending some time talking Magic with me. While you're at it, click the subscribe button so that you don't miss a thing I try to post daily. And while you're at the clicking mood, if you like the video, please click like because it's going to help this little engine this little channel that could grow immensely and we can grow our community. As of the recording, we're basically only left with waiting for Moe's confirmation on his signature. We're waiting for Paolo's extension, wondering why that hasn't happened yet. And in this video, I'll talk a little bit about the new addition to the coaching staff of Joe Prunty. So let's get started. As of taping, like I mentioned, we haven't heard the official confirmation of Mo signing his 1 year, $5 million contract. If you look at the books, this is basically where we're at after once he signs that contract. As I've mentioned before, if you've watched my offseason recap video, we are hard capped at the first apron. That's why it's in red here on the chart on the right where it's $195.9 million is the threshold, is as much as we can spend because we're hard capped because of how much Tyus took in his deal. And right now we have about $1.2 million that'll be left over after he signs officially that contract for the one year, $5 million. And again, that's for Mo. Now, theoretically, they could give him that extra million. So instead of 5 million, he could be at, they could sign him for 6.2 technically, but it's always good to have a little bit of wiggle room because you never know what opportunities are out there. We're going to have one roster spot open still. We'll be at 14 guys once Mo signs. So you never know. If we're able to free up a little bit more money from a trade or anything like that, then maybe we can bring in that 15th person. It could be a buyout guy also during the year, just because um, we have a good team and there's a lot of people that want to ring chase. I don't know if we're at the level yet to win a championship this upcoming year, but we definitely put our hat in the ring with all the moves that we've done this offseason. So that is the situation with Mo. At this point, as of recording, he hasn't signed officially, or at least we haven't heard the announcement of the official signing. So we kind of wait with bated breath at this point. Then if we move over to Paolo, so this was a tweet from Bobby Marks from ESPN. He talks about, okay, that this was after officially agreeing to terms with Mo. Then the last thing to do was Paolo's rookie extension. In here, he basically does a full breakdown, which he's done for all the different teams of what happened in their offseason or what has transpired since then, and gives you just an understanding of what we have left to do. So the big thing, I think he says it here, yeah, the reported amount of Paulo's rookie extension is 5 years, 239 million dollars. That's the report. Obviously, I believe yes, this was tweeted after we knew how much the salary cap will be next year. So that's obviously going to be a much better amount. Originally, it was going to be more that the tax or the salary cap for next year was expected to jump 10% from what it is this year. But instead, it only jumped up. It will reportedly jump up, and everybody needs to expect that it's only going to go up by 7%, not by 10%. So that has to go into the factor of all the different upcoming contracts for teams so they can plan their books as best as they can without going a bit crazy. So that is what it is. If we look at the books, I'm always going to give you the numbers. I'm an accountant by trade. It's been a while. I've been able to go onto a spreadsheet, so I've been playing the last couple of days with the spreadsheet. So this is what the next year's amounts looks like. So again, this year, if you want to see the books for this year, go to the off-season recap where I break down after every transaction what happened. Here, this is for next year. So this is just to show you how quickly we jump up in how expensive we are. Paolo, if this is an estimate, that's why it's in this lavender color. If he gets the 25% of the salary cap, what the salary cap is projected to be next year, He's going to receive $41.3 million dollars. His contract goes from what it is now. This season, Paolo's going to play for 15 million. So all of a sudden, immediately, boom, up to 41%. And just because Franz has his a year earlier, Franz basically makes a little bit more money than Paolo every year, looking down the line at this point. And that's where we are with the salaries. Now, if you read the list, these are the 12 that are signed that we have signed for next year, the 12 guys that are signed for next year. If you look at the active payroll, just for those 12, again, we need at least 14 on a team, and normally teams have 15. Just with 12 guys, we are already at $221 million of active contracts. So we're already 50 million over. Again, these are all projections. We're about $50 million over the cap. We are about 20 million over the tax. And then if we don't get under the tax this year, then we start accumulating repeater tax things. And I could talk about that in another video to talk about just how expensive theoretically 3 years from now the Magic would be. So we're at $20 million over the tax here. If you look at the projected apron for next year, we're already 13, we blow past the first apron. And again, we're only at 12 guys. We still need two more guys on here. We're already past the first apron there, and then we're even already past the second apron. So we are expensive. Let's just say that we're expensive. So the ones that are highlighted in red there, Anthony Black, Jet Howard, and Tristan, they're on rookie deals. So that's just why this is their not their last season, but we have to pick up the rookie extensions yearly, basically. So that's why they're in red. But that's if they're on the team, this is how much money they would be making. So we're gonna have to make some moves, and that's why, yeah, it's nice that we're competitive, and it's great, and we want to be competitive, and they're putting their money where their mouth is, but we need to definitely win. We need to be winning to justify how expensive of a team we are going to be in the next couple of years. So this here is the minimum, let's say, of what Paolo can make. Again, it's a projection, but this is the minimum because he can make 25% as a max rookie extension. He can make 25% of the salary cap, which is basically what Franz makes in the first year of the deal. So like this number is the second year of Franz's deal, which those deals they're the first year of the 5 years is 25% of the salary cap. Then after that, normally it's an 8% increase every year after that. So the amount of the salary cap, if you do like the percentages, drops a little bit. So that's why Franz this is the second year of Franz's deal, so that's 8% more than the 25% he had in the first year. Hopefully, I didn't get too numbery there for you. So this is Paolo's first year, so he's making 25% of next year's projected salary, and that's what that amount is. But now we all want Paolo to ball out this year. We want him to do super well. If he makes an All NBA team this year, if he makes an All NBA team, even third team All NBA, that's going to increase his salary on the first year, and then it's subsequently obviously 8% each additional year. So if we look at that and what that could be, this is where we stand. It's Paolo. This is All NBA. Let's say he becomes a first team All NBA. So then he's eligible for a 30% increase. Or sorry, he gets 30% in the first year of his contract. So if again on the projection of next year's salary cap, if he gets the 30%, which I'm sure it's going to be in his deal, then he jumps up from 41 million to 49 million right off the bat. So as always, we want him to do well because if he's doing well, then it means the Magic are doing well. That's is typically the way it works for all NBA. So the only situation after that is you can see our tax situation there and our salary cap situation. Because again, we only have 12 guys signed as of next year, and that's what happens. And again, Franz moves up 8%. The salary cap only went up 7% theoretically from what all the projections are going to be. So we start outpacing the growth of the salary cap if that's what's going to happen moving forward. So this is why it's going to start being even more and more and more expensive. If you want me to go really deep into the books all the way through, just drop me a comment down below just so that I can dig deep in there with you if that's the type of stuff that you wanted to know. once the season starts, I'm not going to talk so much about this stuff because we will have games to talk about. So just know that that's not what this channel is going to be. I just want to give you as much information so that you are an informed fan, so that you know what's happening. So if we look real quick at this, as you see, we're even more in all the other factions. We're over the salary cap more. We're more over the tax. We blow past the first apron, and even then, we're already past the second apron. So we are very expensive at that point to sign players. It's going to be a more of a juggle, and that's why I mentioned before we really need to hit with Jace and Noah. They really need to hit. Every one of our draft picks has to hit and at least be a rotational player, because to bring in guys, it's going to be expensive. It's going to be expensive, and it's going to be difficult. We'll have the biannual next year. We'll have a few other exemptions just along the way. If we're a second apron team, we won't be able to use the mid-level exemptions like we did this year. So I'll talk about that in the future. But just wanted to give you a bit of a heads up on that. So we hope Paolo balls out. Just know that it affects the way we plan our salaries moving forward. The last thing we're going to talk about is the new addition to the coaching staff, Joe Prunty. Joe Prunty is coming with a wealth of experience. He's coming from Milwaukee, as the last place he was with under Doc Rivers. He's been there since 2023. Then before that, he was with the Hawks. Then he had a bit of time away from the NBA. So that's the list of cities. I don't have to name them all out for you. He's won a few championships with the San Antonio Spurs. So he's off of the Greg Popovich coaching tree. He also made the finals with Dallas, and he apparently, from all the articles that I read from Milwaukee, he's going to be missed very much. So in that way, it's a gain for us because we need someone. From my understanding, he's a offensive minded coach, so that's exactly what we need. That's what we talked about in the videos that I did about adding Sham God to the team. His expanded role from player development coach to bigger role. We didn't really know what that would entail, and now with adding Joe Prunty, he's supposedly an offensive minded coach. And again, it's great to bring in Tyus, it's great to bring in Desmond, but if they're just going to pass the ball to Paolo and Franz and stay in the corners, it's going to be great because they're shooters and that's what we need. But without unlocking our offense in any way, we can add all the talent we want, but without scheme and all of that, it's harder to score. So if we look at the scoring of the teams that Prunty was helping to coach as an assistant, the last 4 years that he was in the NBA. I didn't want to do it all the other bits, but the last 4 years, the offensive rating, if you look league wide, they were at tied for 11th, 8th, 17th, and 16th. So he's at least in the top half for the most part. Even if it's a middling offensive rating, if you look at the points per game, they're basically in the top 10. Last year, they had a bunch of injuries. They had a weird season with Milwaukee last year, with Dame being injured and bringing in Kuzma and Middleton being out, and Brook Lopez also starting to uh, wind down his career. So their offense wasn't as potent, let's say, last year. But as you see, as you see, the worst of any of these are 113.9, and we would love to sniff 113.9, because if we had the offensive rating, if we had the points per game last year of 115.5, we would have a basically a plus 10 point differential. And that's not as high as Oklahoma City's, but it still would be the best in the Eastern Conference. So we need to be striving to get to at least the 115.5. As long as we're able to keep our defense at 105.5. That's how much we gave up per game last season. If we're able to do that, then I think that's the best of both worlds. Now we have the talent. Apparently, we brought in a coach. It's a Don't know how many coaches we're gonna have. We're gonna have more coaches than we're gonna have players, but it's not my money. Again, the bosses are opening up the pocketbooks so that we're able to build a contender, or at least now we're ready to contend, and we're looking to make that last push at that point. So it's a pretty light news day. We're getting to that time after free agency is over that we're basically just going to be waiting for summer league to start. The Magic's first summer league game is July 10th, I believe. I'm going to be in Vegas starting on the 13th. So likely from the 13th to the 19th, I won't be posting as much because I'll be attending kind of a conference. So that part I will try to post, but we'll have to see on how all of that goes. But hit subscribe because I'm going to be sending more content your way. I might do another video today. If not, it'll be tomorrow, and you'll have something, even if it's a bit shorter, pretty much every day, so that you can be connected and know what's going on in all things magic. So again, thank you very much for clicking on the video and spending some time. I really appreciate it. Any comments, put them down below. I know there's been discussions about the audio. We're working on it. Hopefully, you sound a little bit better this time. And just feel free to click on any of these videos here because I go through the full off season in the other video, as well as what's happening with Moe since he still hasn't signed at this point. So these are all the other videos on Moe. And again, thank you very much for listening, and I hope you have a great day.